Let's look at another example. Before we go to our next example, I need to talk about the fact that sometimes we're going to have to use a formula. On the previous example, on the anchovies and sausage pizza problem, we knew how many people wanted anchovies and sausage. That's really great. Sometimes, however, they'll give us or, and we'll have to use that to figure out and. Now here's a Venn diagram. Here's set A, here's set B. Remember, the union symbol stands for or, and the intersection symbol stands for and. And the deal is sometimes they'll tell us how many people are in set A or B. And we try to figure out how many people are in A and B, how many people are common to both sets. And what happens is the number of people who are in A or B are the number of people who are in set A. Inside this circle would be all the people in set A, plus the number of people in set B. Inside this circle is all the people in set B. Now if you look at what I've done, I circled or highlighted set A, and then I circled or highlighted set B, and so this region right here got double circled or double counted. The overlap, the and part, was counted as being part of set A, and then counted again as being part of set B. So we've got to undo or get rid of this double counting. And so to undo or get rid of this double counting, we take the number in set A plus the number of set B, and then we subtract off the number who are in A and B to get rid of our double counting. Well, let's look at an example where they give us or, and we have to determine and. A conservation club has 3,000 members, and a fishing hunting magazine has 7,000 subscribers. 8,400 of these people are in the conservation club or subscribe to the fishing hunting magazine. We're supposed to draw the Venn diagram and then use that to determine how many people are in the conservation club and get the fishing and hunting magazine, and then also use the Venn diagram to determine how many of the people belong to the conservation club but do not subscribe to the fishing hunting magazine. Well, let's see, we're talking about conservation club and the fishing hunting magazine. So I'm going to label these sets club and mag for club and magazine. Our conservation club has 3,000 members. Some of those subscribe to the fishing hunting magazine, some don't. Our fishing hunting magazine has 7,000 subscribers. Some of those people are in the conservation club, some are not. I really wish they would tell me how many people are in the club and subscribe to the magazine, but I can read through this problem and quickly see that information is not given. What is given instead is 8,400 of these people are in the club or subscribe to the magazine. Well, all I know right now is that my club circle has a total of 3,000 people in it. I don't know how many are in the overlap of club and magazine, and I don't know how many are club only. I know I have 7,000 magazine subscribers, but right now I don't know how many magazine subscribers are also in the club and how many magazine subscribers are not in the club. And they didn't tell me how many get the magazine and belong to the club, but they did tell me that 8,400 people are in the club or get the magazine. So I'm going to use the formula that relates or and to try to figure out how many people are in the club and get the magazine, because that will help me break the code on this Venn diagram. The number of people in the club, the number of people in the club or subscribe to the magazine is equal to the number of people in the club plus the number of people who get the magazine. But I just double counted all the people who belong to the club and get the magazine. I counted them as club members, and then I counted them again as magazine subscribers. So I've got to subtract off the number of people who belong to the conservation club and get the magazine. Now they've told us how many people belong to the club or get the magazine. They've told us how many people belong to the club, and they've told us how many people get the magazine. So we're going to use this information to figure out how many people are in the club and get the magazine. There are 8,400 people who belong to the club or get the magazine. That's equal to the number of club members, which is 3,000, plus the number of magazine subscribers, which is 7,000, minus the number of people who belong to the club and get the magazine. Well, if we clean this up a little bit, we'll have 8,400 equals 10,000 minus the number of people who are in the club and get the magazine. Well, a little bit of algebra here. This is our unknown, so we're going to subtract 10,000 from both sides. And 8,400 minus 10,000 is negative 1,600. These cancel. Equals negative, or the opposite of the number of people who belong to the club and subscribe to the magazine. And this is negative 1,600 equals negative variable. And you're not finished yet. You want to divide both sides by negative 1. So there are 1,600 people who belong to the Conservation Club and get the magazine. We know how many belong to the club and get the magazine. The number of people who belong to the club and get the magazine, they are the ones common to both sets. Those 1,600 people go in the overlap of the club circle and the magazine circle. Now, we've got to finish filling in as many regions as we can determine in this Venn diagram. We were told that there are 3,000 members in the Conservation Club. So we know our Conservation Club has a total of 3,000 people in it. Well, of those 3,000 people in the Conservation Club, 1,600 of them also get the magazine. So to figure out how many people are in the club only, or they're in the club but they do not get the magazine, we're going to take the 3,000 club members and subtract off the 1,600 who also get the magazine, and that will tell us how many people are in the club but do not get the magazine, and that's 1,400 people. We were told there are 7,000 subscribers to the magazine, so our magazine circle has a total of 7,000 subscribers. Well, of those 7,000 subscribers, we know 1,600 of them belong to the Conservation Club. So we need to figure out how many of those magazine subscribers do not belong to the Conservation Club. So 7,000 magazine subscribers minus the 1,600 of them who belong to the Conservation Club will give us 5,400 people in the study get the magazine but don't belong to the club. Now, if we look back up here at the information given, we've used the 3,000 club members, we've used the 7,000 magazine subscribers, and we've used the 8,400 people who belong to the club or get the magazine to figure out how many belong to the club and get the magazine. But we don't have any more information, so we don't know how many people are out here. We don't know how many people don't belong to the club or get the magazine. They didn't tell us how many people were in the survey, and they didn't tell us how many people are not in the club or magazine subscribers, so we can't label this part of our Venn diagram. So we've labeled everything that we can. Now we're going to use our Venn diagram to answer a couple of questions. Question B, how many of these people are in the Conservation Club and subscribe to the Fishing Hunting magazine? How many people are common to the Conservation Club circle and the magazine circle? Remember, and is the overlap. That's 1,600 people that are in the club and get the magazine. That's in the intersection of the two sets. And then question C is, how many of these people belong to the Conservation Club but do not subscribe to the Fishing Hunting magazine? Belong to the Conservation Club but do not subscribe to the magazine. Well, there are 1,400 people who belong to the Conservation Club but don't subscribe to the magazine.